All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're all about breaking down big topics fast. And today, we're going to tackle something that seems super simple but trips people up all the time: the real difference between weather and climate.
So let's just dive right in. I mean, you hear weather and climate thrown around like they're the same thing, right? But here's the thing. Getting them mixed up isn't just a tiny mistake. It actually changes the whole way we see what's happening to our planet.
You've definitely heard this one before. A totally random snowstorm hits a place that's usually warm, or you get a cold day in July, and someone always says, "So much for that hot climate, huh?" It sounds like a solid point, but it's not. And we're going to clear that up right now.
The whole answer really boils down to one thing: time. It's all about time. Think of it like this. One is just a single snapshot, while the other, that's the entire photo album. Okay, so first up, we've got weather. A great way to think about weather is like the atmosphere's mood. It's what's literally happening outside your window this very second. Is it sunny, raining? It's what's happening now. And you know how fast it can change. Sunny one minute, pouring rain the next. And then there's climate. Now, if weather is the mood, climate is the personality. It's not about today. It's the big picture. It's the long-term pattern we see over decades. That's how we know, without even looking, that the Sahara is hot and dry, and the Arctic is, well, freezing.
This really just puts it all side by side. Weather is what you get. It's the surprise party of the atmosphere, totally unpredictable. Climate, on the other hand, is what you expect. It's the pattern built from years and years of data. That's exactly why one random rainy day in the desert doesn't suddenly mean it's not a desert anymore. The personality hasn't changed.
And if you remember just one thing, make it this. This analogy is perfect. Weather tells you what to wear today, and climate tells you what clothes to own. Simple, right? Weather's about grabbing a raincoat this morning. Climate is about whether you even need to have a raincoat in your closet in the first place.
So what's pulling the strings behind the scenes? What makes one day a washout and a whole region tropical for literally centuries? Well, it all comes down to the drivers. And believe me, they operate on completely different scales.
When you're talking about today's weather, it's this crazy, chaotic dance of a bunch of different things all at once. You've got temperature, humidity, wind, air pressure. A high-pressure system slides in, boom, it's sunny. The wind changes direction, whoops, the temperature just dropped. These are the things that are constantly changing, minute by minute, day by day.
But climate, that's a whole different story. We're talking about giant, slow-moving forces that don't really change. Things like how close you are to the equator. That's not changing. Or huge mountain ranges that can create a rain shadow for hundreds of miles. These are the big geographic features that basically set the personality of a place for thousands of years.
Okay, so how do we make sense of all this? How do scientists actually organize this information? Well, they've come up with a really smart global system to classify all these long-term patterns and then measure the short-term stuff that happens inside them.
All those big picture drivers we just talked about, they create these distinct climate zones you see all around the world. You've got your tropical zones, your temperate zones, polar, desert. Each one has its own expected, predictable pattern that pretty much defines what life is like there.
But, and this is key, remember, the climate is just the expectation. Just because a place is in a temperate zone doesn't mean it's temperate every single day. Nope. Inside that zone, you're going to get all kinds of weather. Sunny days, rainy days, stormy ones, even snowy ones. That's just the day-to-day mood swings.
And to keep track of all those daily mood swings, meteorologists have this awesome toolkit. You've got thermometers for temperature, barometers for air pressure, and so on. Each tool measures one of those fast-moving pieces of the puzzle to help figure out what's coming next. And, whether we're going to need that umbrella tomorrow.
All right, so why does any of this actually matter? I mean, beyond just winning a trivia night or sounding smart at a dinner party, why is it so important to get this right? Because it's not just an academic thing. Confusing these two has massive, real-world consequences. Think about it. If we take one unusually cold winter, that's just weather, a mood swing, and use it to dismiss a decades-long warming climate trend, well, that's a huge, risky mistake in how we plan for the future.
And here's the magic number you need to remember: 30 years. That's the scientific gold standard. You need at least 30 years of data to tell the difference between a random weather event and an actual real shift in a region's climate. It's how you spot a real trend versus just a blip on the radar.
And knowing this difference, it's absolutely critical for how we plan, well, everything. Farmers look at climate data to decide what crops will grow best over the long run, and then they check the daily weather to decide exactly when to plant them. Engineers use climate patterns to build bridges and cities that can handle future conditions. It's fundamental to how we build a safe and stable world.
And all this leaves us with a really big question to chew on. If climate is our long-term expectation, our sense of what's normal, what happens when that fundamental expectation starts to shift? It means we have to reevaluate everything, not just our big 30-year plans, but even what we might consider a normal day tomorrow. Definitely something to think about.